And she did it. God damn it. I might take out a second one.
Okay, bowlers, if you would, please hold up on your practice. Recycle machines back to the first ball. Make sure you've got full racks. Again, no more surface adjustments on bowling balls. And last call for brackets and side pots if you'd like to get in. Again, take the entire scorecard with you. You're going to move 8 lanes to the right, rock back to the low end if you're at the high end. Good luck to you all. Thanks for bowling. And we will get the scores out as quick as we can. Good luck.
All right, welcome everyone to the Indiana Queens presentation here on Savage Bowling TV. Scott Gilmore and PBA Hall of Famer, Indiana bowling legend, Mr. Mike Aulby here on the broadcast. Back with us after a little hiatus a few weeks ago when you go to California, and welcome back. We're glad to have you. And we hope you enjoy the broadcast today. This is qualifying squad number 2. And a record turnout so far, Mike, for this event, 136 entries. So, record turnout. We thank you for watching here on Savage Bowling TV and on Indiana USBC's Facebook page. We're broadcasting live on both, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast here. And when we get done with these 4 games in this squad, we'll have our top 16.
You know, it'll be exciting to see who's going to pull it off this year, and it's a long format, long day. We've still got a lot of games to go here.
Yeah, and scoring a little bit different than last year, where Shelby New just led the field by quite a bit, shooting averaging 243 for her 4 games. Now, a little bit of change with the pattern a little bit. Jeff modified the pattern from last year, and now scoring just a little bit lower, which I think is more healthier, keeps the bowlers close. Every shot a premium now.
Well, they're premium, but I think that if you're throwing the ball well, you've got to look. I mean, and that's what you want. And you know, the scores are if you throw it well, you're going to get rewarded, and that's a good thing. And so far, we've seen, you know, it's taken over a 200 average. You know, it looks like going to be to get in there for sure, and. You know, this is the last qualifying round, so we'll see if it jumps up even farther, because there's a lot of girls in there that are packed in there just a couple pins apart here and there.
Well, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are our broadcast pairs. And 9 and 10 will be the championship pair. That's what I meant to say earlier. We hope you enjoy watching all of this. It's going to be exciting, and the ladies always put on a heck of a show. And we look forward to showcasing the top ladies in the state of Indiana when it comes to bowling.
Well, you know, the Masters format, that double elimination matches, and when you do those one-game matches, it's exciting. And, you know, who can take advantage of their breaks and who can make the shots when they need to. And it's always exciting coming down to the end. And, you know, Shelby, she's had some good luck here, obviously, a lot of good luck. And she's going to have to bowl her way in here in this squad. Yeah,
she struggled in the first qualifying squad. I believe she was minus 24 or 30. So she was quite a bit of ways out of it. Obviously, when they combine both squads, that's when we'll get our top 16. And right now we thought plus 25 was kind of a good number. And back in 2019, it was plus 88 just to make the cut. So that tells you that the tweaks that Jeff makes every year to try to make it more of a premium on being able to repeat shots, and I think that's going to be much more healthier for not only the ladies. I know they wanted it a little bit tougher, and I think it'll make it a lot more exciting too.
Well, I think the games will be, you would expect them to be closer, but like you said, the person that's going to be throwing the ball the best is going to have the best opportunity, and that's all anybody can ask for is to be rewarded by how well you throw the ball.
And when you walk down, it's not only the ladies who are, impressive, but we have a star-studded field of guys watching. E.J. Tackett, Ronnie Russell, George Branham, Tim Max here. I mean, we got the who's who of the guys in the state of Indiana professionally bowling, watching.
Yeah, I mean, it's always great to see those guys at any time, and but all in one time in one place. There's a lot of bowling stories going on around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was the picture you guys took.
Oh.
All of you posted on Facebook a little bit ago. And
Already?
Yeah, Tim posted it. But yeah, those are Indiana legends right there.
I was trying to figure out the little.
I think I was the oldest one.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, I was trying to figure out I was looking closely, and there was that little plate underneath your, or right around your chest that said BR549. I don't. Uh-oh, we got lunch here too, guys. Oh, we'll just hand this down. Look at this. Here's that.
Chad didn't get anything.
Oh, no, he's out. Too bad, Chad.
No, I'm just last.
Hey, you're welcome. Thank you.
Bailey Maverick right in front of us.
Hey, you can't beat
some.
You can't beat the fact of, go figure it. Right when we start is when it gets delivered, right?
That's the way it works sometimes,
It was definitely worth the wait.
Now here's the thing. See, you and I are responsible for talking 100% of the time. So Chad over here gets to turn off his microphone, and he'll be over there eating. Hey, you might want these.
Oh,
yeah, he will need that napkin or two or three.
Utensils. And
so I have boneless wings, tater tots, and ranch.
Yeah, we got chicken strips. You got fries. I got tater tots. So yeah, you can't go wrong. Food's always great here at Championship Lanes, and a wonderful host, Angie Collop, the GM here, does a phenomenal job hosting these events, and we always love coming back to Championship Lanes. And
great food, great bowling, great supporter, Dave Small and his whole group, and Angie, of course, is always great to see her, and first class job here, and just it's always good to return.
Yes, and we thank Mother Nature.
Oh.
Yesterday was one of the most interesting days of weather in this state that I can ever remember. It
fun.
Covered the whole state. Either had torrential rain, it either had sleet and ice, or it had snow.
And I drove from my home in Carmel to Lafayette and back and saw all of those.
Yes. And then
it's sunny today. So what Indiana weather in a nutshell, as we all know out there.
And warmer.
Yeah.
I mean, just totally bizarre. I was really worried because they were calling for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts last night in Lafayette, and I hate, when you become a homeowner, you don't like high winds.
No, you go get the insurance premium, make sure that's covered, and get your policy out and see what they cover and how much it's going to cost you, and all that stuff.
Right. Yeah, you kind of tighten up a little bit when the wind starts blowing.
Yeah. Make sure you got everything battened down out in the backyard, right? Or at least your neighbor does.
Yeah. Well, and my kids, they want a trampoline, or they want at one time they
a parachute, you mean?
Yeah, I know, and that's what I kept telling them. I'm like, I am not getting that because the first wind, it's demolished or it's in somebody else's yard. Well,
I think you go to YouTube or Google, trampoline wind, and boom, there's plenty of videos to give the example.
Yeah. Let's see, who do we have? We have Ashley Jackson here in front of us, and she is on 5 and 6. And boy, you talk about someone that can rev the ball up. She'll be here on the far left side of your screen. Stephanie Stogstill and Allison Stump here on 7 and 8. Oof, that is impressive.
It's a great shot. Nice and smooth, like you said, a lot of power in that shot. Perfect.
And it is effortless.
Yes.
And we made a comment about that, Chad and I did earlier in the first squad. the reason why there is so much revolution is she's really quick with it, but it is effortless. It's not a forced release.
Yeah, when you try to force it, you just don't get it clean off your hand, so it becomes more of a little bit of a jerk there. So you're going to get that ball to go down the lane a little bit and dart and dive instead of very hard to control. But when you're able to be smooth at the bottom of your swing, the ball will do what the lane tells it to do, and it'll just be nice and smooth, and the pin carry is where you're really going to see it too.
Yeah. The pins know. I don't care what you say.
They do, yeah.
They know.
Yeah, and they're usually about 1.5 foot, 3 apart.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. Yeah, after it hits the pins.
Normally it involves some type of trick shot to make it spare.
Yeah. Yeah, go get that plastic ball and throw it as hard as you can. A lot of great players out there. A lot of past champions as well.
Yeah, we talked about, those that are watching. Bailey Maverick's here watching his girlfriend Allison bowl. Nathan Smith's sister is bowling here. Nathan, who bowled for Noblesville.
Bowled well in the PBA U.S. Open.
Yeah. So a lot of really popular and star-studded bowlers here watching the ladies take their turn at a major championship here in the state of Indiana.
You can see there's a few shots out there. You get that, you pay the penalty, you get that split, but got to make your spares. Oh, we got a picture.
Yeah, there we go.
There's the picture.
Ah,
I didn't stay on long enough, but
yeah, we had George on the left and Tim Mack from left to right and EJ and then some old guy on the right. Oh yeah,
man.
Mike. Yeah,
well,
Mike.
You gotta
Aulby.
be nicer. You gotta be around here for a couple hours.
I'm pushing the friendship envelope right there.
Yeah, don't stand up. That chair may not be there when you sit back down. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, there we go. Boy.
there, I'll leave it up there.
Hey, the impressive thing is, here's the really cool thing that a lot of people might not get. You got 2 Triple Crown winners. And you have Tim Mack, who might have been one of the greatest amateur bowlers of all time.
Worldwide, yeah, worldwide for sure.
And then probably one of the most underrated players in tour history, maybe back in the 80s and early 90s, and even later on. George was a phenomenal player in his day, too.
George was a classic style. You talk about smooth at the bottom of your swing. Tournament of Champions winner, George. And I'll tell you what, a great career, and best part of that is they're all 3 nice guys.
Oh, yeah. Tremendous group right there, and big advocates for the sport of bowling, and pretty cool. They all live right here in the state of Indiana.
And George came from California to be here, so yeah, he, it's nice to have people come from out of state to find Indiana as their home, and we're lucky in bowling to have that.
Yeah. Well, and I can remember I was a big fan of George when he was on tour, and really fun game to watch. Really made the Teal Rhino Pro famous.
He did.
Back in those days.
Worked for Brunswick as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when it came to a big show, George was right there in the hunt more often than not.
Yeah.
Of course, you not too shabby yourself there.
I had my moments.
Yeah, well.
All you can do is have a chance. That's all you want's a chance when it gets into it.
When you think about it, really, you're regarded as maybe one of the top 2 or 3 lefties of all time. When you sit back and think about that, you're a very humble person. What is that? When somebody would regard you in that manner, how does that's just got to be just unbelievable to think of that.
I mean, it's flattering. I'm not sure I believe it, but it's flattering. I mean, it's flattering. No, it is very flattering, and I love to sit and talk bowling with anyone and everyone. So it's very rewarding. I'm very appreciative, and I never thought I don't dream dreams this good. I mean, I've been so fortunate in my career. So it's. But once again, I don't know if that's real or not. But.
Well, I remember, I did not miss a Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon ABC telecast. I mean, if it was on ABC with Schenkel and Burton, I didn't miss it.
Oh, those were the best days. Wow.
And I can remember, I was a big fan of yours, and whatever you threw on TV, I had to try to talk my mom and dad into getting me.
Now, wait a minute. 1980, if you watched when I shot 140 on TV, surely you didn't
I don't know if I remember that.
Because I'm not sure that ball made it out of the bowling alley. So.
Well, but I remember, because back when I watched, you threw Brunswick stuff more often than not. You know, a lot of zones and
oh yeah,
and I just remember. I believe it was a purplish color ball that you threw on TV for your 300. Was it?
Yeah, it was a Rhino LE.
Yeah, I remember. I was like, I had to have that ball.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, that was a good ball.
That was a great ball.
Yeah, I mean, I threw it, that one especially, I threw it 16 times, 4 practice balls and 12 strikes on TV to shoot 300, and then it's retired. It's never seen a lane. It's never seen their lane since.
Well, and
it's in my collection.
I try to tell, then I was glad nobody said, well, you know what, there's a reason why that ball is really good when they throw it. It just didn't do quite the same when I put my fingers and thumb in it.
There's times when, I would drill a lot of bowling balls on tour, so, trying to match up to the conditions and that sort of thing. I mean, there was times when I actually threw a ball one time and it looked like it labored and just didn't do. I mean, it went to the first kid I saw. It didn't make it past that. There's just ones that you just don't waste time on those, you know.
And that had to be kind of the fun thing, too, is most of the manufacturers back in those days, they didn't really care what you did with the ball from that standpoint.
To a degree, yeah. To a degree. I mean, there were I guess the worst thing you could do is, so when you made television, there was always, you had your representatives from each company, and if you were a guy like me who was a free agent most of the time in my career, I could use whatever I wanted on TV. So they would always know. At least what I tried to do was, when I made a television show with a certain company's ball, I would try to stick to that if at all possible. Now, my goal was to win, so I would say 99% of the time I stayed with that company. But there were other bowlers who looked at the list was on the wall, how much you got paid to use certain balls, and they would jump ship and use something else, and that's when it became difficult for them to then get a free ball from a company, that knowing that they weren't going to maybe give them that shot. So most bowling balls I ever drilled in a single season was 135.
Yeah, that's just
yeah. Oh, I was always looking for something better,
Scott has half of that in his basement right now.
Yeah. I know. Don't remind.
I was going to say, does your
earplugs, Karen? Earplugs.
I was going to say, yeah. Is she out there listening? Because they may all be they may be ornaments somewhere.
Yeah. Well, there's some on some tables. You have to find at least.
We can get you some boxes for those.
Yeah. Well, I tried to find the most colorful ones that I didn't want to use anymore. That were the ones I wanted to make for my legs for these tables I had done. But yeah, you hate to see them go in the trash.
I'm with you on that.
I just hate to see them get thrown away. But they do make
house balls.
Yeah. Well, that's what you used to do. Was just
then they get stolen.
I don't want this anymore. So you just drop it on a rack.
Now, if you bowled on tour in the early '80s, when we bowled Syracuse, because Syracuse was usually the last stop of the tour for the season, for the year, and for the fall tour. So that was the perfect stop, that when you got done and it didn't end in well for you, you walked out the back of the paddock and you gave it a big heave, because there was a straight shot that rolled down the hill into the river. So there was a lot of them going out there that day.
So you're saying that there's a chance that you could put a diving suit on and find some old ornaments down there?
Yeah, that's more than likely. I guarantee you they may be dammed up by now, because there were so many would go down. Luckily, we only bowled there a couple of years in the fall tour, because that was the last one, and boy, out they'd go. Just whew.
I've heard some people giving them to like pig farmers, because the pigs,
I've heard that too,
pigs like to push them around and root them around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just hate to see them thrown away, so I try to do what I can with them as far as decor. The interesting thing now with some of these bowling balls today is, once you put a hole all the way through them, the shell doesn't want to last. It cracks all the way around.
Yeah, that's not good.
So yeah, that's. I looked at my table the other day, because I have this basically a 3x3 or 4x4 coffee table that is basically the heads or the arrows of a lane, and I have 5 legs on it with 2 balls on each leg. And I was looking the other day, and I thought, wow, I had like 5 of them that had cracks all the way around because it just when you go all the way through the ball and you have you put a rod all the way through, those shells are so soft and brittle that it just cracks all the way around.
Much. Yeah, it doesn't take much.
No, but they won't fall apart. That's the nice thing so far, because I really don't want to have to replace.
No.
It's a lot of work drilling a half-inch hole.
Well, it sounds like you got a few you can choose from.
Yeah, I got a few.
Well, now, you got to hold on to the one you shot 300 with. Was it last week or the week before?
Yeah, I know. Here's the thing. I never really saved balls I shot 300 with.
No.
Mm-mm.
My wife would agree with you on that sentiment, but I did keep them, so.
Yeah, I never really saved them.
You should start.
Yeah.
So how many was that?
I don't know. I don't count.
You don't? That's good. I mean, I
don't have that many.
I think it's, when you, it's tough to count. I mean, each one should mean something to you. So
the only thing I'm really proud of is 2 things. I had, and this is when Star Lanes was still in operation.
Mm-hmm.
I had a 300 in every house.
Oh, wow.
Which I always thought was kind of cool.
Yep.
And then a lot of my 300s have come in tournaments.
Well, that's a good time for that.
Yeah. So, my first 300 ever was in a college tournament in Milwaukee.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
So those were cool things.
Yeah.
I do wish I still had that bowling ball. It was a Columbia 300 Boss. I wish I still kept that one, but it's
the memory's obviously there.
Yeah,
That's
I'm not sure where it is. probably 8 feet down in dirt in a dump, some landfill somewhere. But yeah, I wish I would have kept that one. I don't know why I never kept or felt like the need of keeping a ball that I shot 300 with.
Well, and you won the singles last week in Lafayette.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice bowling. Yeah,
yes.
that 12th one was that was a no-doubter on that one. That was a great shot.
Yeah, and the only thing is I don't count. I'm not a counter of how many 300s I have, but I've never been one to shoot a lot of them. So, and that was kind of what I posted something on social media, and it's like I just don't take them for granted because they're not as easy as some bowlers make them, seem.
Well, see, and a lot of those bowlers are bowling like twice a day.
Yeah. But here's what I'll say. Lafayette, the reason why Lafayette has put out a lot of good bowlers in this state is because Lafayette was always a little more on the difficult side as far as scoring was concerned. I felt like that's what made us better. You get in some areas and I remember going to, I always call the region the northwest area of the state, and they had state tournament there. And we're bowling in singles and doubles, and this was after the first game of our minor events. And they said, we get done with game 1, and they get on the intercom, and they announced 5 guys that shot 300 that game alone.
Wow.
And I'm thinking to myself, this is why,
cocktails.
Yeah, I'm not.
Hey, cocktails. I'm out of here.
And here's the ironic thing about that. The year after that, that's when they implemented that they started taking over the lane conditions for the state.
So it was just the house.
It was whatever the center at that point during those years. It's whatever house pattern they had. They let them do whatever they want. Mm-hmm. Then they started making it a uniformed condition, which I think has made it much more healthier.
Yep.
But the region was one of the reasons why that all started. And I couldn't believe it. I'm like 5 300s in one game. One game. I'm thinking,
that's another reason why they don't give rings out anymore.
And the high game pot was worth $6 a person. Because 5 of them split it. No, I don't, but yeah, it's just, I just never take them for granted, and we just don't get a lot of them in Lafayette. And I don't think that's a bad thing because I feel like it makes you better.
No, it does. It makes you concentrate harder. It makes you work harder. It makes you learn your equipment better, the conditions, everything.
Yeah. And yes, Michael Cottrell posting a state tournament would be a good time for another. Yes, we're bowling. I bowl state with Mike. And, and we actually, we've come close a couple of years now. We bowled together 2 years, the group that we have, and it's Michael Cottrell and then TJ Schmidt, who's won the Masters twice and the Scratch Classic, and Richie Benninghoff and Jeremy Adler and myself. We almost won state last year. I think we finished top 3, last year, and then the year before we were in the top 10, I believe. So Oh, John Verbiage posting, region has better bowlers, whatever.
No, I think you forgot to mention that has was capitalized.
Yeah, it should be had.
I'm going to say,
Oh,
that's a
no,
typo,
I
right?
did not. John, I did not say that.
Yeah, I know. Now, John and I, we're going to be bowling senior state here in a couple of weeks.
Together?
Yeah, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, you know,
After
here's the
that
thing.
comment.
Yeah, I know.
You
yeah.
may not
We're
be.
supposed to bowl doubles together.
Oh,
Were.
Yeah. Yeah. Were,
I'm
was,
sure, I'm
has,
sure,
had.
I'm sure he,
Yeah,
just,
I
he
got
probably
it.
just made a phone call. The cool thing is, you know, I tell you what I'm more excited about is we're going to bowl senior state. This is the first year I'm eligible. John actually just became eligible.
60 now, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Come on, Mike. But the thing I'm most excited about now, John, you know, this will be his first experience. I'm more excited. I'm going to bowl team event with John, but I'm also going to bowl with Dave Hurt and Terry Clayton.
Oh, fun.
So I don't, you know.
I saw Terry the other day.
Yeah, you know, I don't
He's
get
been practicing.
I know. I don't get you know, I've been around those guys for a long, long, long time. I just never really had the opportunity to bowl
Great
much
teams.
with them.
They've had some great teams
Oh,
through the
yeah.
years.
You know,
Let alone single. They can bowl singles as well.
Those guys were guys that we looked up to.
Yeah, I
'cause
bet.
When
Yeah.
we were kids, they were the best of the best in Lafayette. And,
hey,
you know, that's who
nationally,
you wanted to bowl
as
with
well as
or
regionally
against,
yeah.
or be
well, I'm
like.
just saying, you know, anytime those guys have an eagle,
Yeah.
They do.
you know, they won the national team event when it was in Billings, Montana, I believe 2004. I mean,
Yeah, what an
that's all you
experience
need
that
to
had
say
be.
right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, that's great.
And so I have a ton of respect for Terry and Dave, and you know, Dave's made Team USA.
Yeah.
Dave won the U.S. Amateur, if I remember correctly, a long time ago. And Terry Clayton's got numerous PBA regional championships. So those guys are so good, and I'm really excited about bowling with them. And obviously, John, I hope you're still my partner. Oh, but anyway, we hope you, again, we're not going to ramble on. We don't want to bore you with all of our stuff, right? Mike's got a lot more fun stuff to talk about than I do, but
We see some scores in front of us here. There's a 243 game in front of us. There's some tough ones too. But once again, coming out of the gate after practice and until the lanes kind of settle down and they get the carry down, you know, things will neutralize a bit, and pair to pair, we'll see where they go.
yeah,
Well, looking at scores just compared to the first game last squad, just in front of us looks a lot lower.
Does it?
yeah, we got 243, 217.
But we don't see what's going
That's
on
it.
at the other end of
Yeah.
the house. But
Yeah, Ashley Jackson shot 192. So we'll look for her scoring here in games 2 and 3. See what she can do as she moves pairs. So, yeah, you don't see a whole lot of big scores. So, again, it's that moving to that next pair is going to be critical because you don't get any warm-up. First ball counts. And as you know, you're going to be trying to make quick adjustments, Mike, when you move to that next pair. So.
Exactly. First shot of each game is big because you don't want to waste it with a bad shot because now you've burnt that practice ball basically, and now you're in the second frame. So
Yes.
first frames are important.
Everything counts. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout here. And when we come back, we'll have hopefully scoring updates here for game number 1. We appreciate you listening and watching to the Indiana Queens here, not only on Savage Bowling TV, but Indiana State USBC's Facebook page. You're watching it on Savage Bowling TV.
If you're ready to take your game to the next level, trust the guys with over 20 PBA Tour titles and RT Tour experience to improve your game. Ball layouts for the best feel and to maximize your game. The top names in bowling: Motive, Brunswick, Hammer, Radical, Storm, Roto Grip, and more in stock. Get tips and lessons from PBA stars Mike Devaney and Ronnie Russell. When you're ready to invest in your bowling game, go to RT Tour Experience with 2 locations, inside Pinheads and Fishers and All-Star Bowl in Indianapolis.
When you bowl a ton of games on tour like I do, it's all about comfort and feel. That's why I choose Big 4 socks.
Find Big 4 Socks at a pro shop near you or online at big4socks.com.
Are they using follow me? Are they using follow me? Scores follow you. What'd you lose?
Well,
just enough time to stuff our face right. We're still waiting on scores. I was hoping to come back and give you the rundown of where they are after game number 1. But I wanted to quickly respond to Daryl's. Who's the best lefty in that doubles team? Obviously, Daryl. I'm better than John. I have more. Well, wait a minute. And John.
Or the ball.
I guess you know, when they say if you can't beat them, join them, that's kind of probably what I'm doing there. So anyway, here we are, game number 2, 4 frames in. And got some really good players right here in front of us. Michelle Irwin, Aaron Jones, Taylor Ellison, Lisa Seabarth. We have Shelby New. We have the marketing and person and director of all things social media, Tammy Devine on 9 and 10.
Up here is pretty well. 9 and 10.
Nice shot there from Lisa. That gives her a strike in the 5th. Yeah, as soon as we get the updates on the scores, we'll let you know where everyone's at. We want to thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible. I want to thank the Brands of Brunswick and their partnership for all of the Indiana State USBC events, not only our scratch events, but the Open Championships, the Youth State, the Mixed State, the Senior State, Women's State. So they really value their partnership. I want to thank them. Also want to thank Big 4 Socks, and Dave Slavin is here on right behind us in the concourse, and he's got a table full of good socks. If you're in the area and you want to stop by, a chance to meet Dave in person. Also want to thank Tim Mack's Victory Lane Pro Shops, Pinheads Entertainment, A1 Automotive, Mike Aulby's Arrowhead Bowl, and RT Tour Experience for making this broadcast possible. We appreciate all your sponsorships here, and we're just the lucky ones, Mike. We get to sit back and
What do you do?
we just get to sit back and listen and watch and have fun.
Well, you know, that's what it's all about here, especially in tournaments. We get the really good ones, the really exciting ones, the majors here in the state of Indiana. And, you know, we're so fortunate in Indiana to have not only the opportunity to be here and do live streams for these tournaments, but to have these tournaments and the bowlers and the Jeff Circle and his crew back there that run these events. And the state of Indiana is in good shape in the bowling world. This past year at the USBC convention, the state association, Indiana State Association, did win the association of the year. All of them.
That's nice. Yeah, we appreciate, and how exciting for the state to be awarded that. It's in recognition of really growing the sport, promoting the sport, and you know, for us to be a part of that is really cool. And
it's well deserved. Yeah, well deserved.
And doing these events, for one, you know, when the older you get, and like in our cases, you know, we're not involved from as much as far as a participant or a competitor, right? But this still gives us the way of being involved in promoting the sport, being involved in helping it grow. So.
No, it's great to see, and like I said, Indiana is one of the top in all 50 states. It's amazing what Indiana has produced and continues to produce. And that 9 and 10 over here, the pair of 9 and 10 is a hot one. They have the front 7 out there. Andrea Moore, front 7.
Oh, I did that to. I should have said something to you, Mike. I did that to Jenny Ferguson in the.
Well, you did that. I
in the
didn't do
10 a.m.
that.
squad.
I didn't do that.
She missed the very next one.
See, I didn't do that. You did
okay.
that.
Okay.
Come on, Andrea. Shelby New also double spare 3-bagger, so that pair is scoring well so far.
Well, there's another strike there. And
Pretty shot.
I don't know who that is, but she opened and then threw 4 in a row, 9 spare strikes. So, yeah, you're right. Shelby with a strike there. Now that gives her 4 in a row. All right, we'll get you scores here. We got B after 1. So, leading the way here is Brittany Cooper at plus 53. And then Jada Maccabi shot 43, or Maccabi. And then Audra Wilkie plus 38. Annalise Siska, Lafayette Bowler, shot 237. Rhea Burton plus 24, 224. Chelsea Kiefer, 222. Katie Rudisell shot 220. Shelby New, her first game, Mike, shot 219. So obviously she's figured something out. And Taylor Scholl shot 214. Cammie Devine shot 210. Bethany Burton, 208. And then Natalie Tackett, 204. Starla Miller, 204. And Michelle Irwin, 202. So those are your high scores. Now where they fall, right now, after game 1, the cut would be plus 17. So, again, these competitors in this squad still have 3 more games to go. So it's going to be really interesting. But, Mike, you're starting to look at that standing sheet, and you're seeing 2 pins, 4 pins. So there are a lot of bowlers in really tight. I always feel like the little bit more difficult pattern really
they
compacts the competitors.
They do, and it makes it so much more critical, the spare making, and those are the things you want, because we can see it comes down to one mark in many cases to get you in there out.
And you did it. She spared 9 spare in the 8th. Way to go.
Yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't pay attention, but yeah, she come through it well, but a little light, left a 2-pin only. I was watching.
I didn't want to say anything.
I was watching.
I didn't want to say anything.
It's still a good scoring pair.
Yeah, and I wish, unfortunately, there's so many ladies here that we don't know who they are, which is great because we see bowlers we never get to see. So it's really hard for us to know who is who. That's one thing that's beautiful about the name shirts. We can get an idea, as Shelby just opened in the 8th frame. And, boy, you really jinxed that pair.
I had nothing to do with that. As much as you're trying to blame me.
We just need to learn to keep our mouths shut.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a little quiet for the show then.
And what happened to the commentating?
Yeah.
Well,
Chad told us to be quiet.
We just know the scores are really high.
Chad told us to be quiet.
We don't want to mess anybody up, start getting negative comments.
Well, there's 8-1, 7-bagger right there on 11 and 12. Is that that's Michelle Russell.
What did you possibly learn about what I just did?
Yeah, nothing. That's Michelle Russell. So Ronnie said they were going to make some surface changes, Mike, in between squads. And obviously right now, that's paying off for her. And she leaves it. Good Lord. I'm not saying a word.
Solid 8.
And she leaves a stone 8-pin.
Man, what a great shot, Michelle.
Oh, boy. If you folks don't believe in announcers, jinx, boy, I tell you, you are wrong.
Could not have thrown that any better. That was a great shot.
I said it earlier. That's why we've never had a 300 on any of our streams in the 9 years we've been doing this. Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to find her. Yeah, she really struggled, too, game 1, Mike. She shot 144, so.
Well, this will put her back into contention here. She's in the 240s.
Yeah, so that 6-pin or 8-pin even more painful at that point, right?
I agree, yeah. Yeah, when you're trying to catch back up, and, boy, you just don't need that break.
Yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, how impressive for Erin Jones, who, ladies and gentlemen, she just had a baby a month ago, less than a month ago. Hasn't touched a ball pretty much, bowled twice since She won the Queens last year in March. And here she is in qualifying squad number 1. She shoots .817. And here she is bowling really pretty good this game. Just unbelievable how these ladies are so tough when it comes to being able to give birth to your child, and then here coming out a month later and you're participating in a bowling competition.
Yeah, she throws the ball really well, and obviously a champion. And the little one is actually sleeping right behind us here.
We need to be a little bit on the quiet side. Although, Dad, we got to be quiet over here. Yeah, but how cool is that? And of course, Scott talked her into bowling. He's like, you really need to bowl. You're the defending champion. Don't you want to at least defend it? Because she wasn't going to bowl. And
no, she's throwing the ball really well.
Right, game's going by pretty quickly. Already into the 10th frame on most pairs. And we do have some big scores. 244 on lane 10. Of course, she opened in the 10th. Shelby has a chance to shoot 241. We have a possibility of a 238 on that game. Looks like Michelle Russell shot 245. So that's a nice comeback. That's only going to put her minus 11. So she's going to creep up the leaderboard. Right now we're thinking, Mike, that 220 or plus 25 will be maybe the number you want to be at, somewhere around there.
And the games go quick when it's only a few games here, so there'll only be 2 left after this one. Games go fast.
Yeah, and think about that. Plus 25, that's only a 206 average. So it's not like you have to go out there and just.
That's why that you can't afford those bad games, because it takes everything you got just to get back to even.
Yeah, you don't have to throw 6-7 strikes a game.
Yeah.
So.
And it's really just a lot of it too is that first shot when you switch pairs, because that's the one that is hopefully going to line you back up, or you're going to try to figure it out real quick. You can't waste a lot of time, and there's only 4 games. You got to be aggressive.
And actually, let me check here. I believe. Let's see if I can find her quickly. She's going to pick up here and she converts the 310 split. Let's see if I can find. Yeah, Taylor Radke. See if I can find her after game number 1, because she's going to shoot, looks like 218 with the strike. So, and she shot 159 her first game, so she really could have used that first 2 hits in the 10th there to get in the 230s. And Aaron Jones is staring at a 180 game. She's pretty much, unless she really goes big, her last 2 games, she's going to be leaning on that qualifying score from squad number 1. See a couple of big strings down there. We got strike, spare, and it looks like 6-bagger down on, looks like maybe 13 and 14. Again, we're stationed right behind lanes 7 and 8, so it's hard for us to see too far down. And Shelby makes her 7-pin conversion, so she'll be in the 220s. That's a good game. When you're thinking right now, 210 is, you want to shoot 210 a game, and you're going to probably guarantee yourself in the top 16.
Yeah, I would assume so too. But now we're 2 games in, so if you shot something less than that, trying to catch up is very difficult. You just got to get out. Like I said, those first couple frames are very important in these last 2 games.
Oh, she goes 5 count. Greek Church.
Yeah,
Boy,
Shelby with that loses some count there.
And you got to figure that. You just don't want that. Chad and I talked in qualifying squad number 1, how many times when scores are so tight where you get 5, 6, 7 count field balls where those pins are going to come back and haunt you.
especially when the scores are lower, you know, when you get that fill ball, you really would like to take a chance to see if you can find something a little better than what you're doing. And boy, you just can't do it. You've got to make sure you can get the count.
That's where it's really makes it hard to make a ball change, but you really got to know your equipment.
Yeah, you want to be aggressive, but there's just some spots where you just have to know what the ball's going to do and just get the count and move on to the next one.
All right, most players down here on our end are finishing up. A couple more bowlers to go, and Ashley Jackson's she's the one with the big string, Mike, and really surprised. She really kind of struggled in the first qualifying squad. There's probably no one in this building that has a bigger rev rate than her, and with the lanes being a little bit tighter this year than previous years, that rev rate could really come into factor.
She just has to get a little more comfortable out there and trust it a little bit more. And you're going to run into some pairs that might be not to your liking, but those are the ones you've just got to bear down and make a little better shot and keep it in play.
All right, players wrapping up, and they'll move on to their next pairs.
The pace is really fairly quick.
Yeah.
You know, they move, when they change lanes, it seems like they're able to start right out, and because there's no practice balls, so you don't have to worry about, you know, getting too stiff or not quite staying loose enough. It is a little cooler in here, but in your bowling, it's probably a good temperature.
Just right, yeah.
It's a good temperature.
You want it to be a little bit cooler in the bowling center, especially for how your hand feels and how your thumb feels in the ball. You don't want to sweat or
once again, you don't have time to try to dial your thumb and your fingers back into it, and you just don't have time to worry about your hand and the feel you're getting.
Yeah, I feel like anytime spectators have to wear a jacket, it's just right for the bowlers. Because not only are you constantly moving, but, you know, the stress and pressure of the game itself, the heart rate goes up. And
yeah, it's easy enough to talk yourself into squeezing a little bit and not getting that clean release like we talked about a little earlier. What you need is so that ball doesn't do the funny things on the back end that get you in trouble.
Right.
And trouble means, 5 or 6, those big splits.
Now, Ashley Jackson stepping up here. She is stepping into the 10th frame. She has a 7-bagger working. So a chance to shoot 280, which probably is the biggest game so far today. And let's see if we can find her on the score sheet here.
190s, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe you're right. 192, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
she just
shot.
Blistered the rack there.
Beautiful shot.
Well, a game like this, Mike, can take you from, let's see, where is she at? Can take her from 41st to the top 5 real quick.
Yeah, that's exciting when it's this type of scoring pace. You know, you have that opportunity if you can put a game or two together like that. You can ride that a long ways. Right.
It's there for the taking, but it's also very easy to shoot 160.
Well, especially in this format because, it's going to seed you higher and then, the pins are dropped. So take advantage of it early and
I really don't want to say a whole lot about what she has going on because I don't want to jinx her.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah,
okay.
Remember what Chad said for us to be quiet?
Yeah, but you've already said it, so you pointed it out, and it hasn't happened.
All right, too. I messed up. I'm surprised Shelby didn't reset her Greek church there on lane 9 because I wouldn't.
Was that what you would have done?
I wouldn't want to look at that when I'm coming to the pair, would you?
Oh, well, yeah. Maybe that's why she left it, so that her competitors are going to have to look at that.
These are hard.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah. I think Chad's going to try to get a shot here remotely here. I'm going to have to, if he gets a shot of this, I got to switch cameras here for him. So she's stepping up here, second ball in the 10th. Ooh, 5 count. Yeah, unfortunately, that'll kind of ruin it.
She had a lot more speed on that one, it looked like. Just, really probably threw it right past her hook point. But what a great game.
Still a solid game.
Yeah, great game.
She's going to be in the 260s. She really impressive to watch her throw the ball.
Oh.
She got 4.
Yeah.
All right, great second game there. That's going to really jump her up in the standings. That's going to put her in the high plus 50s, which right now that would move her all the way up somewhere in the top 4. So, again, it just takes one big game to move your way up. No, I didn't. By the time you got over there, she had already 5 counted. So
we figured it was your fault.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say it. Mike just did. So thanks, Mike. So.
Okay, we're all even. Let's move on from here.
What's going to be sad is these ladies are going to petition us not to say any comments about what they're doing out there if they got success.
I definitely probably jinxed her by going down there.
Yeah, they're not hearing another word from me.
Were you one of those where you're bowling and you're going to be up next, but someone split to your left or right? Did you wait for them to go ahead and pick that up before you bowled again, or were you one of those superstitious guys?
Okay, I sat at the back of the settee area with my head down, looking at the floor. Do you think I ever saw that?
Well, I'm just saying, in qualifying.
No. Like I said, I never watched. I did the same thing in qualifying. I always sat there, so I was just paying attention to what I was doing. I never got up and looked at anybody else throw.
You were in La La Land or whatever.
I was wherever land I wanted to be. I didn't have to, as long as I didn't think about what everybody else was doing.
What baseball cards you were going to buy next?
Yeah, where I was going to have lunch. I mean, it just never. Yeah, but I didn't. I tried not to watch down there. Too much.
I didn't know if you were one of those I would ask you in league, but you never bowled league, so.
Yeah, that's been a long time ago. Well, this is what 2023. That's 40 years ago.
Gosh.
83, 23, 40.
Who's counting?
Yeah.
Who's counting? Yeah, I know people that if they're up next, if it's their turn to bowl and somebody to their left or right splits, they don't go.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was.
I always thought it because they didn't want to get hit when the person walked behind. Back. So when you hold your hand out, sorry.
Yeah.
And it's like.
Yeah, there were certain people you did not put your hand out.
No, you just got out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine your brother-in-law is one of those you would never put your hand out if he.
We bowled doubles. We did that. Now we did that. Now, high fives were a little. If I had to jump to get to there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there's those guys too that. When I bowled for Purdue, that would throw a strike, because everything was team competition, so the intensity was much. I'm not saying it's not great when you're bowling singles, but it's different when you're bowling a team.
Yeah, right.
And they would throw a strike, and you did not want to be the first guy with your hand out.
At least, especially your left hand if you're left-handed, right?
Yeah.
That happened to me with Andy Dole one time when I bowled with him at Purdue.
Yeah, and Andy's a big guy.
Yeah, him about knock your shoulder out of your socket.
Yeah.
I mean,
you couldn't feel your hand for an hour or so.
Yeah, right, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Especially if you're the next guy up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I did not want to be the first guy. So it was always, you kind of walk to the back of the line.
Did the fist bumps now, right?
It's like, oh, you ain't getting me. No way. Well, I'm a small guy, so I'm brittle.
Well, in singles, it's always like, should I or shouldn't I? What are you trying to get across here when you're holding your hand out?
Yeah. All right, got a question in here, Chad, from Brett. Want to know how's the pattern today? You want to go over what Jeff told us on? You're the pattern guru.
Oh, if you know any of the Kegel patterns, it's the Stonehenge pattern, and he modified it. I'm not sure exactly what he did. He said it was a very minor change.
But it's made a huge difference.
It's made a huge difference in the scoring last couple years. and the scores have been really high, and it's brought it down some.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
Shelby.
much more competitive now, I think.
Well, last year, Shelby averaged 243 for her 4 games. So she shot 960, almost 970. And right now, Jenny Ferguson is leading at like plus 65. So big difference when you're looking at it from that standpoint.
And probably one of the biggest, differences is the errant shots. So when you miss, either inside your target or outside, you're looking at some pretty wide splits. Whether it's washout type, the ball won't quite make it back, or it's one that just cuts right through the heart.
Yeah. All right, who do we have here in Game 3? Annalise Sisk on 7 and 8 from Lafayette. We have Leanna Motel, Mr. McCune's girlfriend, Kevin, Alexandra Ross.
It's like we're looking at 9 and 10 right now.
Yeah, this is Alexandra Ross. She's made a few, she made a show for us in the high school state finals. Talented young lady. Right there is Alexis Carter on lane 11, a 2-time champion of the Indiana Queens. Let's see if we got some updated scoring. Probably not yet, as the ladies just got done. Nope, not updated yet. Chad and I were saying as the squad goes, as you go through games, especially when you get into that 4th game, body language tells you a big story on who's really bowling well and who's not, right?
It sure does. You see it, whether it's confidence or just, uncertainty of when you let go of it. You can usually tell somebody lets go of it and they like it and they're going to have a little more, exuberance. They're going to move more, and other than stand there waiting for what the result's going to be, All right, here's a look at Leanna Motel from bowled for Calumet St. Joe College. Working, has the first 2 strikes, now in the 3rd frame here. Oh gosh. Good shot.
And a sawed-off 7-pin.
Yeah, good shot.
And the jinx continues.
I didn't say it.
I know. Wow.
That was a good shot. I mean, the 4-pin just laid straight back.
Yeah.
Those
are the ones where you just, God, you want to carry those. I mean, you just
well,
you throw everything perfect.
Yeah, you think you should. Yeah, and I agree you should. It's just, things just, that's what makes this game so interesting.
Yeah, there's your replay.
Solid 7.
And Alexandra Ross right after that threw 10 back for a strike in the 3rd. We should get updates here pretty soon on game number 2, as players are now in their 3rd, 4th. Some pairs are already in their 7th frame of game 3. About 2 hours, Mike, to bowl 4 games. So a nice pace, I think, especially if you're bowling. If you're bowling well, it's a perfect pace. When you're not, you feel like you're up every 2 seconds, right?
It's a long one, yeah. And plus, when the scores are, a little lower and it's shot-making time, and, when you have to use the mental game as much as the physical game, it'll wear you out.
Nice shot there on lane 7. That was Jackie Rhoda. Threw that on lane 7. She's got a double working in the 3rd and 4th frames. Now we're on lanes 5 and 6. 5 and 6 has been a little bit more of a difficult pair. There hadn't been a whole lot of big scores at all on 5 and 6. A lot of in our area, the big scores have come off 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh, and Alexander goes right through the face here on lane 10 for a 4-7-10.
She had good speed too. That ball broke loose though.
She has nice rotation on the ball, a little more revolution than most. Annalise Sisk is another one that can put some revolutions on a bowling ball too. And she grew up bowling in your center back in Lafayette.
Great player, good bowler. That's out there. Last shot was a great shot.
And Leanna comes right back with a strike in the 4th. Five and 6 seems to be playing a little tighter than.
Yeah, doesn't look like they can get the ball away from them a little bit. It'll just not return.
There's a good shot on lane 5 from the left-hander there.
Well, it looks like we have game 2 scores, guys.
Hey, I'll check here. And refresh. Yes, we do. And Ashley Jackson goes from 41st to 4th with her 264 game, plus 56. Brittany Cooper shoots 197 after her 253 game. She's plus 50. Shelby New jumps up into the top 10 with plus 35, 219, 216. And Chelsea Kiefer also jumps into the top 10 in 9th place at plus 30. These are after 2 games in our B squad here. Leanna Motel with plus 16. Andrea Moore at plus 15. She shot 244 game 2. Annalise Sisk at plus 12. And Audra Wilkie at plus 11. So 12 plus 12 right now is your cut to the top 16, and that dropped 5 pins, Mike, after game number 1.
Yeah, they're still very, very close, packed in there, right below there.
Yeah. Well, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bowlers separated by 7 pins.
Yeah, so the number can jump here. It can jump over a lot of people, though, when it's packed in that much. It just takes one decent game, and you can leapfrog about 10.
Well, Lisa Seaforth, she is plus 2 after 2. She shot 203 game 2. Teresa Smith-Dill, a past champion, 193, 204 at minus 3. She's minus 3 way down in 31st place. But think about it. She's minus 3 in 31st, but she's only 10 pins out of the number.
Yeah, there's just so many people packed in there. You're gonna leapfrog if you can shoot a 220 or 230.
Well, to kind of give you an idea, 16 bowlers are separated by 16 pins. That's the beauty of when you make them a little harder. Yeah. Boy, it really compacts the leaderboard, really crunches them in together. Michelle Russell goes from way down in the low 50s as far as place, jumps all the way into the top 40 at minus 11 after that 245 game. And, boy, you shoot those 220 games or higher, and, boy, you can really jump up the standings. Yeah. What you have to do is stay away from those really low games, and hopefully in her case she can do that. Really surprising here as we go down and we get down even into the 50s, and we still don't see there we are. Natalie Tackett way down in 65th place at minus 42. Shot 154 her second game. And she has always bowled good in this center. That just tells you the modifications that Jeff did to the pair or the pattern has really made these a little more challenging. And you have to be sharp, not only with location and speed, but also what ball you choose.
Yeah, you just got to try to find that angle. It gives you one that gives you a little leeway as far as, you know, the trouble shots. You know, get a little bit off and you don't make it back to the head pin, or a little bit off and you go right through the heart of the pin. So looking for something that gives you a little more consistency and gives you just a little leeway that you can get some confidence going and still keep close without, you know, shooting that tough 150 or 60 game.
Don't really see too many big strings right now.
Not down here at all.
Those familiar with this house, one end of the house is much different than the other. Obviously, you get a little bit closer to the counter, or you get closer to the kitchen. It's a little warmer on one end of the house than the other, and that can definitely make an impact. But
couple of nice shots right in front of us, a solid 10 and a strike. Just the angle's close there. Boy, when you get there, you just want to carry every time on this type of condition. You just want to get there and get those strikes.
Oh, and Jackie Rhoda bowling well this game here in front of us on 7 and 8. Gonna see where she's at. And she is in 36, Mike, only minus 7. So she's only 19, 20 pins out of the number right now. So, and she has the ability here, or the opportunity, to shoot a 250 game here. So she's on a 220 pace.
Well, you just don't want to go in that last game knowing you need 220 or 230.
Yeah. Well, and you might get on a pair that just doesn't have that. Again, we want to thank you for watching the Indiana Queens here on Savage Bowling TV, and want to thank you for watching if you're on the Indiana State USBC's Facebook page. We're broadcasting live there for the B squad here of the Indiana Queens. Want to thank our sponsors, again, the Brands of Brunswick. Want to thank Mike Dole and the staffs at Brunswick for all of their help, being our corporate partner here for all of the Indiana State USBC events, not only the ones you see here, the premier scratch events on Savage Bowling TV, but all of their events. Want to thank RT Tour Experience, Big Four Socks, Mike Aulby's Arrowhead Bowl, A1 Automotive, Tim Mack's Victory Lane Pro Shop, and Pinheads Entertainment. Want to thank all of those sponsors for making these broadcasts possible, and we hope you're enjoying watching the best ladies in the state of Indiana compete for the major here in the state, the Indiana Queens, here on Savage Bowling TV. Scott Gilmore, Mike Aulby, and Chad Lester here in the broadcast booth. And glad to have you back here, Mike, this weekend, as you missed out on all the Indiana high school bowling action.
Yeah, I really did miss that. The kids put on such a great show, and it's such competitive bowling, and there's some good ones coming through, and about ready to move on to the adults.
Yeah, Kylie Trexler is going to be moving on to bowl for Louisiana Tech as her high school career wrapping up here. She'll be at the Indiana-Kentucky All-Stars that will be broadcasting you in June. Mike, you'll be there for that. That's
yes.
Always exciting. And
That's a great event. A lot of fun to watch, and the kids really. There's some great players from between the two states. I'll tell you.
As games are wrapping up here around us for game number 3 already. Through 3 games here for the B
We'll be in
squad.
a match play before you know it. I mean, it goes fast, and it feels that way out there to them too. I'm sure, you know, if you're struggling a little bit, it probably seems a little longer. But if it's going well, then it'll be quick.
Important finish here for Anna Lee here on lane 7 and 8. She's going to be bowling on lane 7. Coming off a 9 spare in the 7th. She still has 203. You just want to try to avoid going too far backwards.
Yeah, those are big saves when you can bail those games out.
Oh, she comes in just a pinch high, leaving the 4-pin.
Looks like she threw it well. And just broke a little sharp at the end.
Just so easy, it seems like right now for the ladies to shoot that 160 game or even worse. So that's what you're trying to avoid.
Yeah, it just takes 1 or 2 bad shots like that, and you can pay the penalty. And you're just not able to throw enough strikes to save it.
Yeah, here's Jackie Rhoda here on lane 8. She's working on a spare in the 8th. Still has an opportunity to shoot a really good game. She's just outside the number, about 20 or so pins out of the number. And that one's way right and fortunate.
Almost made it back.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got that soft speed that I thought was going to give her a chance to get it back. But
really fortunate.
2-4-5.
Yeah,
I mean,
fortunate just to leave that.
Not an easy spare.
No, but one you got to make on this.
Yeah, there's not too many frames left, so you don't want to be giving anything away.
All right, Rachel Atkins here on lane 7. Nice shot there.
Very nice.
That gives her a double. She still has 220 out there. Oh, good spare from Jackie.
Very nice spare. A little more ball speed, kept it right on line.
Well, Rachel Atkins is +6, Mike, after 2. So this is a big game for her as well. This is kind of what they call moving day on the PGA Tour on Saturdays, when you really try to position yourself for the Sunday finish. And these ladies are trying to position themselves for a good finish in game 4.
Yeah, realistically, you want to be within, 20 pins, I would say. Because you could shoot that 220 and get yourself in there and be close.
Yeah, you just
we just don't see that many 230s, 40s, anything like that right now.
Oh, Anna Lee with a great shot leaves a rip 7-pin. Well, and you don't want to, like you're saying, Mike, you don't want to have to shoot 240.
No, because you're relying too much on the carry, and so far, just like Anna Lee right in front of us. I mean, she's hit a couple shots in the pocket, 3 or 4 in a row in the pocket, and she's only got 2 strikes for it. So, we just have not seen those big games. And now you got to move to another pair, so you just hope that you start out right.
Well, before we end the broadcast here for the B squad, we'll have our top 16 announced, and then we'll wrap up qualifying, and then we'll come back on the air probably somewhere around 4:15 or so for the match play portion of the Indiana Queens. And that's when it gets real exciting, and a great shot there from Jackie Rhoda in the 10th. She's got 220 out there, Mike.
Well, that was a great shot right there. She's got her speeds down a little softer than a lot of the girls, and but boy, she's getting that ball down the lane, and it's carrying pretty well. That was a great shot. Set up nice for this frame. And a good shot after leaving the 245 where she got it out wide, and but a much better shot.
Now Rachel Atkins trying to match Jackie Rhoda here. She can shoot 225 with 3 in the 10th. Here's her first one on the right lane.
Chance.
Ooh, comes in high, leaving the 3-6-10.
She's had good ball speed. I thought that might have set up for her, but.
Oh, great shot from Jackie there. That's going to put her in the 220s. Boy, and again, like we talked about earlier, right now the number to get in the cut is averaging 205, 206. You can get into the 220s, you're 15 pins above that. Gives you some breathing room per se.
Yeah. But you got to play the danger game there, because then you're mentally trying just to hang on, and that's
Right.
the last position. That's the last thing mentally you want to try to do, is just try to hang on.
Right.
As we all know, hey, I only need 8 this ball, and you get every time it's 7 or less.
Yeah. And ooh, okay.
Good spare.
I wasn't sure. She looked like her
like it
footing
might have-
wasn't very
yeah.
good, and it might have been left to target. Oh, great shot there from Jackie. Good finish there.
Those are 3 really nice shots. Very nice.
Chad, correct me if I'm wrong. Jackie, did she make one of our high school bowling finals? That name sounds very familiar.
It might have been, but yeah, you're right. I mean, it's high school, or I don't know what else it would have been.
Right.
Because, I mean, we just now.
Well, there was a famous name in Indiana, Rhoda. In the past, PBA member Gene Rhoda, way back
Yeah.
in the 60s.
That's a little
If I don't,
before my time, Mike.
slightly, yes.
Yeah, we remember.
I was told about it, so the only way I know about it. But if I remember correctly, I may just be dreaming this, but I think she was related some way to Gene Rhoda, but I could be totally wrong.
Hey,
We'll have to find that out.
these are things that, curious minds would like to know, right?
Yeah, maybe somebody in our chat will let us know. They're usually pretty good with that.
202 finish for Rachel Atkins, and that's going to put her +8. She's going to be right there on that borderline going into game 4. Like you're saying, for her, she doesn't have a whole – she's got to be on the attack.
Yeah. You don't have any extra frames there. You just it's got to be using them all to get you in position.
And Jackie Rhoda now is 225. She's going to go +18. So – and then Anna Lee, who missed the 7-pin in the ninth frame, now throws 2 in the 10th. But unfortunately for her, that's going to put her a strike for 170. Comes in high 4-7. That'll be 168 for Anna Lee. And Leanna Motel with the spare there in the 10th. She could be 206 with a strike. Yeah, see, I knew I recognized the name.
2014.
2014, Indiana High School Bowler of the Year on the female side.
Yeah, and that would have been the year before we started. We started in 2015 with high school. But it doesn't mean she...
But I think she bowled in one of our shows.
Yeah, I don't know if she was a senior
right
then or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
She shot a 642 series in the Indiana High School Bowling State Finals and finished 6th in 2015.
So she just missed that show.
I remember that. There's little things I can remember. Let's see. And Leanna shot 205. Alexandra Ross 181, it looks like. So let's see where that puts Leanna at. Leanna is going to be +21. So she's going to have her work cut out for her to maintain that positioning, but she'll be in the top 16 after 3. Annalise Sisk, who was +12, shot 168. So she's going to go from +12 to -20. So, Mike, she's in that position where she's going to be staring 240 in the face.
Yeah, that's a big game out there. We've only seen a handful of those.
Audra Wilkie was on 5 and 6, but I can't remember what she shot. But the highest score on that pair is 193. So she is going to go backwards. Just don't know how much. I don't know which score of hers.
This end of the house seems to be bowling a little quicker as we're waiting for the bowlers from the high end to come down.
Really curious to know what Michelle Russell and Michelle Irwin, who were all really close there to the number. So it's going to be really exciting here finish as it's coming down to the wire here to see who can sneak their way in and claim a seed in the top 16. Scott Gilmore, Mike Aulby, Chad Lester in the booth. I want to thank you for watching the Indiana Queens here on the Indiana State USBC Facebook page and, as always, on Savage Bowling TV. Nine and 10, the championship pair for tomorrow, or excuse me, for tonight. We don't want to say tomorrow because
yeah, we'd be the only one.
I'm the only one here. How come there's no equipment here, or anybody else?
So just a little history lesson for you. Jean Rhoda.
Okay.
Bowled on the PBA Tour from 1964 to 1967 with 4 national titles.
Wow.
From Valparaiso.
That is that's pretty good.
Impressive, yeah, it's very good.
4 years, 4 titles. You know, they say it. You know, you have a couple of years of a learning curve almost on there. You know, and these guys today don't have the time that you guys had. You know, 30+ stops. You know, you learned a lot in 1 year, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the more of it. Yeah, but you know, nowadays it's the kids that come out now. I mean, there's so seasons between junior golds and collegiate, and I mean there's so much more to prepare. Now it's not the same, but it is pretty high level competition.
Yeah.
So I think they're a lot ready a little quicker than a lot, and some of them are fearless. EJ Tackett, you know, there's people like that come, guys and girls that come out on the tours, respective tours that come out, and they just are so talented mentally and physically, and you know there's no learning curve for them.
Well, and I think a lot of people said, looking back at, I'm speaking on EJ, that he was kind of one of those can't miss kids, right? That his rev rate was so much greater than all the kids that bowled in his era in the high school ranks, and you know, EJ was a heck of a golfer too.
Right. I assume still is.
Well, he had a scholarship to play golf.
Yes. And
chose bowling, and I think he probably knew golf is, you know, it's so hard to.
Yeah.
It's I don't want to. This is going to sound bad, but it's a lot. It's much easier to bowl for a living than it is to play golf for a living.
You're right. It sounds bad.
I know, but it's just because the number of bowlers that want to bowl professionally compared to those that try. I mean, there's like 5 tours. You know, when you think about the PGA Tour, then they have all the Korn Ferry Tour, and they have all the smaller ones. We don't have 3 or 4. You know, they have the regional tour,
and they're paid well.
Yeah, but we don't have 5 tours. You know, the Asian Tour and all these others for these guys to go play. We have the regional tour, and that's it. But you know, the national
guys
not
gonna make a living at that.
Yeah, right. But the national guys are bowling in the regional tour as well. So
exactly.
You know, it's not like you're. You know, you don't have.
You don't go down there and beat up on them.
You don't have. Scotty Scheffler's not going to play next week in the Korn Ferry Tour.
Who's
you
he?
know, he's just number 1. Well, was John Rahm now is number 1, but you follow golf any?
Is Arnie still out there?
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately,
that's the sad part of everything, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. I watched him on the seniors tour, but no,
guys,
I don't follow it too much. I mean, you know, I love the golf courses. I usually follow when it's Pebble Beach or something like that.
Or Augusta.
Augusta, yeah. There's certain things that you watch no matter what the sport is.
Well, and you know, the thing I love about Augusta is not only the course, but Augusta to me was the sign of spring. When they play at the Masters. It was kind of like, all right, spring is here.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yep.
And Not sure what we have here, but looks like we have a little. I don't know what Jeff Grago's doing there, but
Is he saving somebody's seat, or is
he
that
must
a prank?
be. Oh. All right, game 4, last game. Cassandra Mize on 5 and 6 here. We'll find out who all is bowling on our pairs here. Dana File on 9 and 10. It's always nice to see a bunch of different people bowling on the TV pairs. We get to learn more about the top ladies in the state.
Not only that, it's interesting when the bowlers come from the high end to here to see how the first framework goes.
Yeah, and their reaction.
Yeah.
Because you're in for like, ooh, wow.
Yeah. Like the first 2 shots here on 5 and 6, both pocket shots. And, boy, if I make the turn from the high end to low end, and even though I've left something, got to feel pretty good about it where it hit the pocket at.
Ooh, Cassandra, just enough paint on the pin to knock it over there.
That almost stood back up, and set it right down there, and they got her there. All you got to do is hit them, usually.
That's right. They say you're supposed to just touch them.
Yeah. The proprietors like that. Less wear and tear. Because, cases of bowling pins have went up a lot.
Oh. Well, they don't even make refurbished pins anymore now.
I know. Nobody does that. Yeah. Went out of business.
Yeah, and I believe, Market Square Lanes in Lafayette, they just got brand new pins, and they had to wait months and months for them.
Yeah, if you didn't have your order in way back when, yeah, we got to set in. We just ordered again, so we'll have new ones in somewhere around June, I believe. So, yeah, they were coming out of the pandemic. It was very difficult to get, well, basically anything, as everyone knows.
Yeah.
But, yeah, pins were, because the plant was shut down because they couldn't get the materials that they used to make the pins.
Yeah, even like urethane was really hard to get. Yeah,
the bowling balls, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, your center's hosting what this you have a state event this year, right?
We've got the ladies, yep.
Yep.
Starts up April coming up shortly. And we've got, then we have Junior Gold in July. We have the U12 division, and looks like we may have Team USA, Junior Team USA qualifying as well.
Well, and you got Junior Gold.
Yep, Junior Gold.
You guys are going to be real busy, right?
Yeah, we're excited about all the events, and that's one thing we try to do through the years. This is our 25th anniversary at Arrowhead, and we're excited that we've hosted 23 state events, state tournaments. So even though we try to cater to all different types of bowlers and all that, we truly enjoy the sports side of it and try to be a host and a backer of the bowlers that want to take it to the next level.
Well, and we always appreciate, I know you guys always are looking to host state events, and it takes a lot of commitment on your part to give your center up on every weekend for a certain number of weeks, and we appreciate your contributions to wanting to host these events, because really when it comes to like the national scope of things, bowlers that want to bowl the USBC Nationals, we're pretty much stuck to going to certain venues because the convention centers and so forth don't want to host them anymore, and they don't want their convention center locked up for
that long.
5 months
Correct.
or 4 months. And
yeah, correct.
so really what it does, it limits the bowler where to go. And I know, you guys opening your center for the state events, it allows us to see more around the state of Indiana. And I know it's exciting for
I'm headed to the Open Championships next weekend.
Oh, wow.
So opening squad in Reno.
Let's talk about game plan here. What's your game plan?
If it fits, it goes.
Are you taking one of your 300 balls with you?
No, those are done. They're all retired. It's I go to the garage. If it fits, it goes. And, if I get out there and I got enough time, I may drill something else just for fun. But, it's truly about the dinners and that sort of thing. The bowling is kind of, you just try to get out of there with your ACL, your MCL, and your rotator cuff. And your integrity. But, hey.
Yeah, you got everybody in the background going, wow, he was considered one of the top 50 of all time.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's the opening squad, and I bowl some of the dignitaries from the industry, and so we have a really good time. It's a good group, and I enjoy the fanfare of the opening championships and the
You're on opening
squad.
weekend, aren't you?
Opening squad, yeah. We are on the opening squad even. And so it's a lot of fun and seeing all that. And brings back a lot of memories for me for, bowling in those places for the Masters and just seeing all. I know Carrie, our curator from the museum, has already been out there and has a wonderful display this year. Looking forward to seeing that. And this is one of those, it's what we do for the museum and the way that the collecting and saving these items, and it's a really, really great display at the Open Championships in Reno.
How many balls are you taking?
Well, I don't want to pay extra baggage, so it'll have to be under 50 pounds. So I'll take 3 probably.
Are you flying Southwest?
Southwest.
All right. Well, you could check in too.
Yeah, but then we don't have any clothes.
You can't carry on the suitcase.
Yeah. It'll be 3 because it used to be 2, but then I always didn't take the plastic ball for spares, and after you miss about 4 or 5 7-pins, then you forget.
I haven't mastered throwing spares with a reactive resin ball. And I don't, they say, well, take a urethane ball. Well, I'm not, I just know what my plastic ball is going to do. Not very much.
I mean, last year I shot 1759 with 14 opens in 9 games.
I was just going to say, are we going to put it over and under on his 9 game?
I have. They used to want to put me in the brackets, and from now I said, hey, I don't have to tell them don't put me in anymore. Now they know. It's like, nah.
Yeah, we've seen that for a few years. That's the thing. I've got so excited about it.
It's a lot of pressure. I hate that stuff.
I know, but, well, you have the name and the history of what you've done, right?
Well,
so people already have expectations.
I tried to explain to myself, look, guys, it's not fun for me to bowl brackets. Wait, when I first started bowling with these guys 12 years ago, I said it is not fun for me to bowl brackets.
Right.
Oh, come on. We'll all put money in, and you'll make some money. It's like, I'm telling you, it's not fun. So I shot 690, won like $5,000. And we're standing there, and they're scrolling the name goes across Mike Aulby. The guy said, see, look at that guy. I mean, he's out there taking everybody's money. He doesn't made enough already. And I'm looking over to the guys. I said, do I need to say more? I mean, really, I don't need the abuse. So it's like, they said, wow, you're right. I said, yeah, I could have told you that.
Wow.
I did.
I've never had that feeling where I looked up and I saw $5,000 next to my name. I've seen wow, that's all I got back?
Well, that's before expenses and taxes, so remember that.
So 3 balls.
Uh-huh.
All right. So you don't even have an idea of what you're going to take yet.
I don't. I haven't thrown a ball. Well, I've threw a couple balls since last year, not many.
Man.
I thought about bowling league again next year.
Really?
I thought.
that thought went out quickly,
thought is past
right?
tense. Yeah.
That thought went right out of your mind, right?
Yeah. I thought about it until I threw a practice game and thought, wow, this hurts too much.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You haven't bowled in how long? Well, how can you go and bowl 9 games in 2 days?
It's a mental game and a half, I'll tell you. Yeah.
Because, here's the thing, too. You build up calluses. And
those went away years ago.
Right, but, those are a big part of.
Oh, it is. Your feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a struggle to hold on to it and get a feel without squeezing. Like Bob Hanley, my good friend, 7-time champion PBA. Bob's a great guy, hooking Bob Hanley, and he always says, "Well, how much practicing are you doing?" I said, "Well, how many balls you got on each lane before the team event?" I said, "Because that's going to be it."
Well, you could get some lessons from Jazz now, and one.
Oh well, Mike's he's a tremendous coach. He'd be a good one. I always enjoy seeing Mike and seeing him. He roomed with Bob for many years on the tour, so. But, it's always a challenge, and there's always some pain involved. I mean.
Oh. Well, I'm big on I have to go when league is in season. Because I can't, if league ends and we don't go for 2 months, I'll tell you right now, I won't touch a ball for 2 months.
Yeah, that start and stop's not easy.
Yeah, and I just, anymore, the way the expenses on flights, it's a lot of money to go out there.
It is.
So,
yeah.
And that's, not to jump discussion topics, but that's a thing that the USBC is going to have to really start assessing is when does it become to the point of when it's vacation and when it's not? Because when it's vacation, you don't mind spending the money. But when you're bowling it to bowl in an event and all of a sudden your expenses are in excess of $1,000.
Oh, yeah.
And
flights aren't cheap this year, that's for sure.
And they continue to make us fly.
Well, I mean, right now you've got Reno and Vegas who
2 out of 3
who
years.
love to have us.
Yeah.
Yeah, love to have us.
But
and,
those are the places that want you.
and I haven't seen the stadium since they remodeled a couple years ago, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yeah. So 3 balls. Don't know what you're going to take yet.
I don't.
You're going to be locked. Should we? I don't. I would.
Well, you used to get the ball in the stub lane. You don't get that anymore unless you get your picture taken. So.
Yeah, I don't need that.
Yeah. You don't get a good read off that lane. It's a little short.
Yeah. What's my what did it
It's
look
just-
like going down
it's-
lane?
It's 10 feet. Boom. Hits
Yeah.
the back.
How
That's
did it go through the pins?
Yeah.
What pins?
So see, that's why I always tell the guys, say, how much you've been practicing. I said, I visualize.
Right.
I go back and watch YouTube videos, all of my good YouTube ones. That's where I visualize those.
Right. Right.
Speaking of short lanes, did you ever bowl on the 100-foot lane
I
when
did
they
not.
had that out there?
I did.
Yeah.
My ball rolls out at 60
what
feet.
casino used to have that?
I can't remember.
I don't
but
need.
It was awesome
I
because
can't remember that either.
Was
you
it
roll it.
Samstown or?
Yeah, it might have been.
I can't remember which
But
one.
you rolled the ball. Of course, they can't oil that long, and your ball slows down as it gets to the head pin.
My ball rolls out 60 feet, so it'd be fading off at
Yeah.
around 75
Yeah.
and be in the gutter. Yeah,
Yeah, I think you got his prize or something, or if you struck or
Yeah.
whatever. But it was pretty cool.
The 100-foot lane was wherever they used to have, like the 40-frame game.
Yeah.
It was in conjunction. It was on the main floor of the casino. It wasn't in the bowling alley, but
Yeah, it was. It was in the casino.
Was
Yeah.
it in Reno? Was it in Reno?
I thought it was.
Was it in Reno?
Yeah, it was in Reno.
Yeah, I believe it was.
Because
the
I've
old
never
place-
bowled an event
It was
in
the old
Vegas.
place we used to bowl. PBA used to bowl there. It's off the interstate there. It's the used to be the Hilton, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
different name for like
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
or 4
It
times.
was
But
the Hilton.
it had they have a bowling center there as well.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah.
But you're not used to seeing your ball slow down in speed, and it does.
That's a long way to throw
That
it.
is a long way. Say, hey, can you shim up the sides so it gets it downhill a little bit?
Oh,
Well, we got a few strikes out here in front of us.
yeah. I didn't want to say a whole lot yet.
I just said strikes. I didn't say
Yeah.
where or how many.
Yeah.
I've learned my lesson, Chad. And if you're not doing well, the last game is a tough one.
Oh man, you're
You're
so
just
ready to
not-
get out of
You
here.
are counting them down. Yeah.
You know, you're looking at your watch and like, okay, it's
Yeah.
you know, it's
Oh.
2:30, 3 o'clock, whatever it is, and what time is it? Oh, it's 20 till 4. Man, you don't even when you're having fun, you don't even look
No,
at the time.
exactly.
Yeah, the finals, I bet, don't start for another, I bet, quarter to 5.
It'll take them 45 minutes at least to oil the lanes. Now they don't have to oil that many, so
Yeah, they're using 5 through 20, I think Jeff
Yeah.
said.
Scores popped up yet? Or we had a.
that's a good call. Let me go check.
Oh.
Yeah, they
they're-
are.
they're
Here we go.
slotted. This is a big one here.
Ooh, Ashley
Oh.
Jackson to the top of the leaderboard with a 231 in game 3. 687 now her total. Shelby New with 234 now in second at plus 69. You know what we say, cream rises to the top, right?
Yep.
So you got Ashley Jackson, Shelby New, Jenny Ferguson, your top 3. All really talented players. Chelsea Kiefer in the top 10 at plus 32. Leanna Motel at plus 21. Jacqueline Rhoda with that 225 game jumps into the top 16 at plus 18. Brittany Cooper at plus 10. And that is your cut score right now, Mike. Plus 10. It dropped another 2 pins.
Boy, look at both sides of that. It is tight.
And now you get really close. You have Rachel Atkins at plus 8. Teresa Smith-Dill at plus 8. Michelle Irwin at plus 4. Starla Miller plus 3. And Lisa Seafarth at minus 5. So right now, plus 10 is your number. So that is 16th. So 12 spots. 13, 14 spots are within 16 pins.
Yeah, it is jam tight.
Anything can happen. And that's Ashley Meadows there.
She is right there.
And she was -4 her first squad.
Well, she's right there, close to that now.
And let's see where she's at in this squad. Because that was her total for squad number
She's
1.
26th. She's up.
No, that was her total for.
The first one.
Yeah, we got to find her after
yeah.
3 games. So let's see where she's at. And yeah, she's -64.
Oh, wow.
So she is way down there. So
guys, I see a typo. Hold on.
And I was going to look, Mike, to see where Michelle Russell shoots 148 after that 245 game to go to -63. I think Erin Jones, she's at -59 this set. She's going to be sitting on that. Really surprised, Mike, that she bowled again. I know she was close to the number, but you know, when you haven't bowled for a while and you just had a baby, I really thought she might just take her chances and sit on that number.
I think she's very competitive. So yeah, she's and I'm sure she enjoys getting out there and competing. Plus, the little one was taking a nap.
There's going to be an update coming. I was scrolling through the scores and I saw where they had a bowler in with just 2 digits. I was like, that's not right.
All right.
So Jeff's taking care of it right now. And
yeah, I'm sure Bethany Burton shot more than 21.
Well, I only know that because she stopped by the booth a minute ago and said she was +4, and then you were reading that, and I'm like, I don't see her. So I was like scrolling all the way down the bottom, and I'm like, what the heck?
Ashley Meadows had the front 6. You know, here's the thing, Mike. If she were to go off the sheet and shoot 279, that would actually put her in the cut.
Yeah, she's right there.
We'll stick around here and stay on the air until we find out our top 16. As it is going to be really tight. Now we got an update. Here we'll find out now what our top, I don't think the top 16 is going to change, and it didn't. However, our top 16 is still the same, +10 to be in. Some of the bowlers we thought would be really some of the favorites. Michelle Irwin, she's just out of the cut. Natalie Tackett struggling in both squads. Usually the left side plays pretty good here.
Yeah, so it's updated now, it looks like. The top
I was trying to figure out.
3 did not change. Because she had +4. Bethany did.
She had 204?
210, so she was +4.
Oh. There we are, yep.
So she's in 24th, so not too much of a change, but.
Well, again, the largest turnout in history of the Queens, 136 entries today, which is fantastic. 68 in both squads. Oh, nice spare there.
Yeah.
Great shot. There on lane 6, way off to your left. Nobody really doing a whole lot on 5 and 6. One bowler has a chance to shoot 230. 5 and 6 has been a tough pair all day.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of scoring on that one.
9 and 10, which is our championship pair, has been pretty good. Ashley needs to get lucky here. Oh, and she gets a Brooklyn. All right, another string here on 9 and 10 with strikes in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and now Dana File has a chance here. She's on a 240 pace going into the 9th frame, and I don't know where she's at. She shot +6 her first squad. And she's -58 going in. She shoots 179, 127, and 236.
Well, she just struck there, so now she's got 270 left.
Well, she can shoot 268, right?
Or 260, yeah, 268.
That
So
would
be 10.
She would put her at +10, and way the scoring is going, that's the cut number right now. And it's been going down 2 or so pins, 3 pins every game. Now Katie Newman here in the 10th frame, working on a double here on lanes 5 and 6, on lane 6. Nice physical game there. Oh, beautiful shot. Let's see where Katie's at in the standing sheet. Can she make a run here with a 230 game? No, she will not. She is -34, so the best she can do is get to -1. Won't be enough, but always, you know, regardless, it's nice to finish strong, right?
It is.
End your tournament on a good game, a good note. Wonder what she left there in the 7th. She had a 3-bagger and goes 9 spare, and now has 3 more.
4 pin.
And Ashley Meadows with another strike here in the 9th. She could really play spoiler onto this cut.
270 left.
You got to think about it right now. If you're Dana File and you can strike out for 268 and be +10, Ashley Meadows could go around you. And
yeah, you don't want that to happen.
And
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, you would not want that to happen when
it's
when
this
they're so close. Yeah, every spot is huge.
Now we're getting down to crunch time here. All eyes on lanes 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Oh, and a tough break there with the 7 pin. Can Ashley Meadows find a way to shoot an absolutely gigantic game?
Yeah.
And sneak in this cut, potentially. Now, we don't know if it's going to go up.
Yeah, I mean.
But it's been going down a little bit every game.
But this scoring pace, that allows an opportunity to, as long as there's pins left on the deck, you can get there.
I don't see any other big games.
Not on this end. But are there lower games that may take somebody down, too? That's the thing, too.
Nice shot there in the 10th frame on lane 9 by Jennifer Haywood. She can shoot 225 this game. Not sure where she's at in the standings, but if she's outside of 15 under, she is in trouble. And she's in trouble because I don't see her there. But again, some of these bowlers that are in that top 16 right now, you don't know what they're going to shoot. Oh, and a flat.
Made a good shot at that.
Flat 10.
Made a good shot.
Now, Dana File. Oh, a backdoor strike there.
That you take and run, yeah.
Yeah, and split screen here for you as we wrap up qualifying here for the Indiana Queens. Final game coming down to the 10th frame for some bowlers. Now Dana File here on lane 10. Has a chance to shoot 268. That would get her to plus 10. Oh, and she leaves a stone 7-9. Unbelievable.
Yeah, there's, I mean, we said it all. Wow. I mean, my gosh, that what a great shot. You know, you see the 9, you thought, but nothing came close to hitting either one of those two.
Oh, boy, that is
man,
absolutely
what a horrible
brutal.
break.
Well, that's going to end her tournament.
That one will keep you up at night there. Wow.
She's taking it pretty good.
She is. They have a smile on her face.
Most guys,
at that point, all you can do is, what are you going to do?
Most guys, you'd see a bowling ball come flying out somewhere and
ball return lifted off the moorings. I mean, there's all sorts of choices, Yeah, that was unbelievable. What a great shot. 7-9.
Man, Ashley Meadows shoots 256, but unfortunately for her, that's going to put her about minus 10.
Minus 10. I mean, you're talking 20-some pins. I mean, boy, you can find that all day in 4 games.
Yeah. And, and that's you're right. And right now she'd be 20 pins out of the cut. And like you're saying, 4 games, you know where it came from.
Yep.
Dana File goes 230 back-to-back and is going to miss the cut. She just got off to a...
That's why I say, hey, can we get a format change here and just say bowl 2 squads or bowl 2 squads and just take your best for it?
Yeah. Yeah. Boy, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
Man.
That'd force you to re-enter, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it certainly would. Hey, is Jeff listening? No.
What would we call it?
Yeah.
Pressure
Second
luck?
chance. Second chance.
They've got it on back in the tournament office.
Oh, yeah. There you go. New format from Mike Aulby. Take your best 4 and bowl all the squads.
Yeah. Jeff may not be speaking highly of me.
Take your best 4.
Yeah.
Jeff may not be speaking highly of me at this point.
But it's just amazing when you look at this top 16 right now. Obviously, still a game to go for the B squad here. They're wrapping that up. Actually, just a couple of shots left, and it's going to be done. But you look at this top 16, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4 past champions. You have the defending champion right now still in it. Ashley Jackson, Shelby New at the top of the leaderboard. Don't count out Jenny Ferguson, a solid bowler here, who has won this tournament twice. Alexis Carter's won this tournament twice. And then you got some young guns in there. You have Lisa Seafarth, Leanna Motel, Jacqueline Rhoda, Taylor Ellison right now in. Some young guns looking to claim their first championship here at the Indiana Queens. We're going to cash, I believe Jeff said 10 bowlers beyond the top 16, and so that's exciting.
Yeah.
And
that's going to be a close number too, because there's going to be a lot of bowlers in that area. Whatever that number is going to be, it's going to be packed.
Yeah. All right, we're going to stay on here until we get our top 16. Scott Gilmore and Mike Aulby here in the broadcast booth. Want to thank Coolwick, the official apparel provider for Savage Bowling TV. And Mike, you look sharp. Hey, I got a little hoodie here. Rain. It was raining, so I wanted to bring something that would keep me dry. And want to thank Coolwick for providing the apparel for Savage Bowling TV. If you're looking for a jersey, some winter gear, whatever that may be, go to coolwick.com, pick out your gear, put in that promo code Savage Bowling TV 10, and get 10% off your order. So I want to thank Coolwick for all of their help in dressing us up for these live streams. And we hope you enjoyed the Indiana Queens so far. 2 squads have wrapped up. We're going to hang tight here until we get our top 16. And Mike, again, pattern a little bit tougher this year, and all that has done, it has just scrunched the field.
Yeah, the the scores, I think you're going to find within 10 or 15 pins, it's between cash to the finals to no cash. So it's going to be just watching the last game here especially. We had 2 bowlers who were way out of the number, and both had an opportunity in the 10th frame to possibly jumping from 40 or 40, 50 pins down, minus to plus. And it we saw a brutal 7-9 by Dana, and then the last shot left a light 10 pin to keep from shooting 270. So, and that was just on our end.
Right.
So who knows what happened on the other
we
end.
don't know what's happening.
And that was
down on
people
the high
going
end.
up, not coming back.
Right.
As we know, it can happen both ways.
That's how the cut scores can fluctuate. Now, after each game, the cut score has gone down 2 or so pins a game. It started out plus 17, and then after 3 games, we're down to plus 10 as that top 16 number. Obviously, we don't know what the bowlers that have bowled their last game in this squad, but that's going to dictate our top 16. But right now, after 3, it was like the cream was rising to the top. You had Ashley Jackson, who is so impressive, the highest rev rate in this tournament. And then you have Miss Anderson and Shelby New right there behind her in second place, and then a 2-time champion, Jenny Ferguson, in third. So if that stays right there, boy, you got a heck of a top 3.
Yeah, and in the format, I mean, 1-game matches and double elimination, it can you get on a run there, but you're switching pairs, no practice, so it's a very demanding tournament format, and we've got some great players. No matter what the number's going to be, we're going to have some past champions in and some great players, so we'll see some wonderful matches coming up.
Yeah, I'm going to look down here at my computer, and we have live updates here from the staff here at Indiana State USBC. I want to thank Brian Nunning for hooking us up there. We can get the numbers and results right away. So we'll stick right here for the top 16, and then we'll take a break, probably be about 45 minutes to an hour, and we'll come back on the air with single game, double elimination match play for the top 16, and we'll have our champion crown before we leave championship lanes tonight. So, Mike, again, you look past it back, Queens. We've had so many exciting matches. The new sisters, Samantha and Shelby, their battle for supremacy there back in 2020, and then Aaron Jones' triumph in last year. The Queens just never disappoint when it comes to excitement.
No, it's and at this scoring pace, it's going to be even closer. The game's going to be tighter, you would think, and it's really going to come down to who can make the best shots. You might get a couple breaks here and there, but it's going to come down who's going to be the best shot maker today.
Well, and it just really shows you, too, where this tournament is when it comes to the standings in the mind of a female bowler, because this tournament has grown like crazy in the last 3 years, and it's really exciting to see the turnout, because this is our one time where the ladies get showcased.
Yeah, the Queens, and it's a great place to bowl here at Championship Lanes, and they treat everybody right, and I think that's a big reason why you get the entries, but also it's the tournament that the USBC and Jeff Circle and the guys and the group has put together here, along with Savage Bowling TV, putting it out there for everybody to see in the state so the word gets out, everybody sees what's good about it, and it's the highest level of competition the state of Indiana has for the ladies.
Well, and you look at the past champions, and you have Jenny Ferguson, who's won it in 2009 and 2011, Teresa Smithdill in 2012, Kimberly Woodall in 2016. All of those past champions are coming back still to bowl in this, but you're also seeing an influx of the very young ladies who are just done with high school bowling, who are eligible to bowl in this, participate, and that really shows you the growth of the women's sport on the side of bowling.
Yeah, and the players just get better and better every year. We watched Jackie Rhoda come up in front of us here earlier today. Threw 3 great shots in the 10th frame, as good as anybody can throw. And And Shelby knew a lot of pressure on her to come back out here. Everybody expects her to be at the top. In the first round, she shot under. Then she come back and got back up in there. We know she was in second going into this last game. So there was a lot of pressure on her out there, and we watched her work hard and get back. She's one of the toughest competitors I've seen.
Well, and that's really the cool thing for us, too, is when we're out there broadcasting the high school state championships and we see these young players, both male and female, and then we see them participate in the Indiana Masters or the Queens, really shows you just how good these young kids are now.
It really is. It's not an easy transition to go from the youth leagues and to all of a sudden bowling against money, and now all of a sudden you're bowling with people who are much, much older than you are, much more advanced, and maybe even a better player in a lot of cases. But, but the kids come out more ready nowadays than they used to.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of competition in the youth ranks.
Well, and we're just lucky to be able to bring you all the action. I mean, we get paid to sit here and commentate, and hopefully we entertain you in some realm, but just to be able to watch these performers compete at a high level, that's what's so exciting for us when you see the elation when you come through for a championship. And we appreciate you sticking around with us here while we wait on results here at the Indiana Queens. And we're excited to get into match play, but we're about an hour and 15 minutes away from that. We still have to run on the lanes. I believe the last shot was just thrown in this B squad. So scores will be posted here soon, and we'll let you know where our top 16 fall. And right now, plus 10 is that number. And that bowler right now is Brittany Cooper, and she has still a game to go, and we'll find out what those results are. But again, when you look at that top 10, you have a lot of great competitors, and you have 4 or 5 past champions there in the top 16. So Erin Jones right now still a chance to maybe repeat. And she just had a baby just a few weeks ago. That's amazing.
Very amazing, and the little one was actually taking a nap here behind us a little bit ago. So, it's great to see her out so quickly after that, and I'm sure she was a little rusty probably after the birth of a child and then not getting to practice for a while. So, but the other thing is we've got past champions. If you look, they're at 17th and 18th are two actually dead numbers. They were bowled on the last squad, so they could possibly sneak back in because, as we know, with the score pace, that people do fall back. I mean, they do have a bad last game, as we all know. It can happen. But so there may be some strange back and forth there with that.
Well, as we look down here at my computer, you have 1, 2, 3 bowlers at plus 8. If that were to stay and those go up, I mean, last year we had a roll-off. We had a roll-off for 16th place, so you never know.
That's definitely a possibility for sure. And and then once we go into match play, I mean, here we're trying to figure out what happened. We're in match play. We're going to see it right in front of us when they have to have that strike and attempt to win that match. And so the Masters and Queens are the best formats when it comes down to that match play. It's really cool.
You can also find out all the scores for all Indiana State USBC events by just going and downloading the team app. And you can click on and become a member of the Indiana State USBC, and then they'll have all of the scores for all of their tournaments, the Queens, the Indiana Masters, the Scratch Classic, and some other events. And you can find out also updated standings, I believe, for the Open Championships during the state tournament. So you can download that, and you can get them just as quickly as we do a lot of times. So that's another way for you to stay connected to the Indiana State USBC. But we have a lot of exciting things coming up on the YouTube channel here at Savage Bowling TV. We hope you have become a subscriber. We're going to be hopefully in Kokomo here in a few weeks for Dave Small's PBA event at Heritage Lane. So we're going to try to get with some of our PBA friends, Kyle and Brad Miller. We'll try to get a hold of some of them, and we'll try to talk to as many PBA stars. So stay tuned for some more videos from the PBA tournament in Kokomo. And we have a lot of other things coming up. We'll also be at we'll be at the Junior Gold in July 2. We're going to try to take a trip to Indianapolis and see some of the older bowlers in that division to talk to some of those. And there's some great young stars. Just some that come to mind are the Parker Bones, 2 kids. Then you have Chris Barnes' kid and Ryan Barnes. So there's a lot of talented kids out there right now, and some of them just happen to be their dad's legends in the sport.
And they're not on tour because they're not old enough yet. That's
right.
The only that's no reason they're not there yet, because they are certainly good enough and know how to play this game.
Yeah. So a lot of exciting things and features coming up here on Savage Bowling TV, so we hope you stick around. and become a subscriber and enjoy some of the content that we will provide you here on our channel. So, again, we're going to stick around here for a few more minutes. We should have results here at any time for B Squad. And, again, we're excited to bring you the broadcast here of the Indiana Queens once again here on Savage Bowling TV. And it's really quiet in here. It's kind of odd, isn't it? Kind of.
Well, there's a lot of anticipation because there's a lot of people right on that number. So, you know, and once again, when it gets this close and you're that close, it's agonizing waiting for that last announcement, and you start knowing who was around you score-wise. So you're starting to hear if you hear their name and they were behind you, then obviously you're smiling. But if you don't hear that, then you've got to wait till the end. So
Well, and speaking of the PBA, you know, we encourage you to become you can subscribe or become a member to Bowl TV. It's a small fee for a year, but you get a lot of PBA action. Mike Flanagan does a phenomenal job bringing you week-to-week action here on the PBA Tour. So we encourage you to become a member of Bowl TV, and you can watch all the PBA action there. We encourage all live stream viewing. It's important to bring you all that action. And we just now have updated scores, and Ashley Jackson, your #1 seed, Mike, shooting 279. Her last 3 games, 264, 231, 279. She shoots 966 plus 166. Incredible shooting there. And your second seed will be Shelby New at plus 85. Jenny Ferguson sits tight at plus 64 in third. Olivia Poor plus 59. Chelsea Kiefer shoots 227 her last game to be in the top 5 at plus 59. And we're going to hand things over to Jeff Circle, tournament director, to give you the top 16.
Jackson plus 166, second Shelby New plus 85, third Jenny Ferguson plus 64, fourth Olivia Poor plus 59, tied with Chelsea Kiefer at plus 59 and fifth. Sixth Linda Burns plus 57, seventh Jennifer Thompson plus 43, tied with Alexis Carter at plus 43. Ninth Deanna Motel and Rachel Atkins plus 34, that's 9th and 10th. 11th, Teresa Smith-Dill plus 30. 12th, Morgan Johnson plus 29. 13th, Lisa Seifert plus 25. 14th, Michelle Irwin plus 18. 15th, Aaron Jones plus 17. 16th and final spot, currently with no ties, Taylor Ellison plus 16. Additional cashers, Danielle Rednikas plus 11, Kimberly Woodall plus 9, Jacqueline Rhoda plus 8, Starla Miller plus 7, Dana Kyle plus 6, Rhea Burton minus 2, Ashley Meadows minus 4, Annalise Sisk minus 4, Jenny Applewhite minus 6, Brittany Cooper minus 6, Taylor Radke minus 12, and Catherine Newman minus 12. That's the top 28 as I have them. Anybody thinks they had something better than that, please let me know immediately.
Well, and we were talking, Mike, how it could be, how it could jump up and down. It actually jumped back up 6 pins, right? So it went from plus 10 to plus 16. And I was trying to go through here to find out because Jacqueline Rhoda, I thought was up higher than that, but she was only plus 8. I thought she was in the cut number after 3 at plus 18. But it shows that she shot 205 her last game, but I'm not sure that was the score. So I'm just kind of messing around here, seeing what we have here as we get on down farther in the standings. Natalie Tackett at minus 61. She really struggled. Michelle Russell also struggled as well. Her highest total out of both squads was minus 64. Not sure who else we have here. But again, 168 entries for the tournament. And we'll discuss the top 16 when we have a little more time, when we come back on the air for match play. We hope you enjoyed qualifying here for the Indiana Queens on Savage Bowling TV. We'll be back in about an hour or so for match play, the top 16, single game, double elimination. We Thank you for watching. We'll see you here for Match Play on Savage Bowling TV.